Welcome to In Focus from Central Kentucky TV. I'm Kim Houston, president of the Nelson County Economic Development Agency, and I'm probably in one of my favorite places in Nelson County, and that's my Nelson County Industrial Park. We have Flower Foods across the way, and now our newest and what I consider one of the brightest new things that are happening in Bardstown, Nelson County, and that's the building of the Bardstown Bourbon Company. And with me today is the CEO and the president, David Mandel, and Steve Nally, who's going to make all the magic happen right here with this bourbon. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you for having us out here on your property with all this great construction going on. And I really want to start at the very beginnings of all this. Why Bardstown? You had an opportunity to go anywhere in the country you wanted to go. Why Bardstown?
Well, we looked at a lot of places, and thanks, Kim. And at the end of the day, it was an easy decision because when we came here, we saw the community that has brought the world bourbon, and it's the greatest place in the world for producing bourbon. It's the heritage, and it's the home of Steve Nally, our master distiller, and we could not think of a better place to build a world-class facility like this that is the celebration of bourbon. And that's what the Bardstown Bourbon Company is all about at the end of the day. It's a celebration of this great product.
And it was interesting, it was early 2014 where David and some other people came into Bardstown for the first time looking at some property. We were in stiff competition with some people, and we were so fortunate that they chose Bardstown and specifically this site for your company. But yours is going to be a little bit different. I think that's what I'm so excited about, and the bourbon industry is so excited about, because what you all are going to do out here is going to be a little more organic, and it's going to be something that other distilleries, and they can't get this experience anywhere else in the bourbon industry.
That's right. It's about, a lot of it is about the experience. And if you look, you were here set on 100 acres, or on 100 acres of active farmland. We're growing our crops here, but the distillery itself has some very unique aspects to it. One, we're making our own products and our own brands here, and we're collaborating with other great craft distilleries as well. Secondly, we have a wonderful collaborative wholesale production program that we're going to be working with craft distillers and brand owners to make great bourbon and rye that is authentic and it is Kentucky for them right here in our facility. And third, we have a great visitors experience that we are creating here, and in a wonderful event space. So you're going to have this great scene here for weddings, for events, for corporate events that brings the community and the nation and the world here to Bardstown and helps celebrate the wonderful heritage that you have.
And of course your secret weapon that nobody else has also is Steve Nally. Steve Nally being your master distiller. I think you know a little something about making bourbon as you're retired from the bourbon industry from Maker's Mark, of course, but what brought you out of retirement?
The opportunity, after retiring from Maker's Mark, I really wasn't ready to settle down, just stop doing anything. The opportunity came up. I went out west, got a distillery started out there, got homesick. I came back. This opportunity came to be, and I just couldn't pass it up. The chance to bring the experience to Bardstown, the bourbon capital of the world, to allow visitors to come in, see how the product's made, get a more visual look on how it's made, as opposed to just going through a facility and seeing fermenters working, the still operating. They're actually going to see and get a feel for the entire operation. And once they leave here, I hope they have an idea of how the product's actually made.
You know, we are the bourbon capital of the world. We tout that, and it's going to be nice to be able to come in on the Bluegrass Parkway and as a gateway to Bardstown, see this beautiful distillery on the left as you get off the exit. What are we going to see? What are we seeing when we turn to the left and look at Parkway Drive in this wonderful building? What is actually going to be inside that we can touch and we can see and we can experience?
We can't give away all our secrets, but what I can tell you, you are going to have a modern, beautiful building. And transparency is a big characteristic of it. You're going to see it in the glass. You're going to see it in the way the building is produced. Because as a company, we're looking at bringing the customer and the consumer closer to understanding how bourbon and how whiskey is made. And it's that transparency. That's what this is about. When you come here, you're going to see it, you're going to experience it. We talk about tours in a lot of places. This isn't a tour. This is an experience, and that's what we're offering here. Everything from the culinary aspects we have. We're putting in a full kitchen here. You know, be able to have the events that we're going to have, but it's the experience. And that experience is for not only people that are produce for our brands, but the people that we're making product for, to the visitors that come. It's that entire customer experience.
So I know you have to keep some things close, but let's just say we're walking through the front doors. What kind of things are you talking about specifically that we will be able to experience?
Absolutely. When you come in the front doors here, you're going to walk right through our huge curtain wall glass into the bright atrium. There'll be 2 glass classrooms set up on top of overlooking our visitor center, our retail space, our tasting bar. We have a beautiful bar that we're developing here that's going to house a very large collection of bourbon. We have a full kitchen, so we're going to be using this space. Not only is it beautifully designed, but we're going to be using this space in coordination with all of the different customer service, all of the different services that we offer our customers. And I have to tell you, this project wouldn't be possible without really the wonderful support and local support of Busick Construction that is managing this from beginning to end. Joseph and Joseph Architects, all of our engineers and our team. Steve oversees the daily management of our production team here producing this facility, and it is all local. It is the greatest folks that you could bring together. Again, when you ask me why here, it's the bourbon capital of the world, and where else are you going to get the best people to work on distilleries but in the bourbon capital of the world?
Why here, you can say, why not? Why not? Steve, I want to talk to you about something that's going to happen out here that, again, you don't see in a lot of distilleries across the country, and that is you bought a 100-acre tract out here, and you're thinking, it's a distillery, you're going to have some rick houses, but why 100 acres? You're going to be growing a little something out here, aren't you, that possibly will be putting into your product?
We're actually going to farm-to-table approach. We will be able to grow some of the crop we use in our product. I can specify the types, the varieties of grain, whether it's corn or wheat, that we will grow to use in the product, and there's not many that have that opportunity. We will have rick houses lined up the Bluegrass Parkway. We have a total capacity of about 6 to 8. They are going to have some glass in the corners of them or parts of them that when you're coming down the parkway you'll actually be able to see barrels in the racks in the warehouse. So it's going to be a part of it, but coming into the facility we have no history. You know, this is a new company, so we're going to take the approach of this is how the product's made. We'll go in the classroom, we'll go over a process of what goes on out in the plant through the aging process, and we're going to start teaching people. This is what actually happens. We'll go to the cooker, which is where the grain is processed. The cooker has glass tops inside of it where you can actually see the grain being added to it, the motion, the agitation that takes place within. You can see it being pumped into the fermenters. You can actually see the still will have glass portals all the way down the front of it where you can actually see what's going through the still and how it happens. So this is an approach that we're taking. We want to make an educational experience out of what's going on inside the building.
You know, being a master distiller, did you know that was named one of the top jobs to have in the country? And people think, oh, you know, sitting around tasting bourbon all day can't be a bad job, but it's a whole lot more than that. So, you know, what on a daily basis, what do you do as a master distiller other than probably taste some of the greatest bourbon ever?
Well, that's, you know, I'm always getting recruits that want to come in and be a master distiller. They want to help me taste it. Well, I said that's not all there is to it. You know, you start on the grain end, you select varieties, types of grain that you're going to use. You do proportions, the amounts that you're going to use. But you go all the way through, you make sure that everything's produced consistently all the way through the process. The yeast that you select, that's a very, very important part of it. Through the proof that you put it in the barrel at, you know, that plays a part on how it's aged. The char that's within the barrel, that is part of it. The way the barrels are handled in the warehouse. So there's just day-to-day stuff that you have to do to get this product to finish up like you want to. And I was very fortunate when I started Maker's Mark. I had some of the greatest people in the industry. Sam K. Cecil was my mentor. T.W. Samuels, you know, he developed Maker's Mark. So Arthur Godey, he was the distiller when I started there, and some things that he did I thought was kind of ridiculous, but it's the the focus that you do it the same way every time to get the same product every time. So it's the process that you use, the management that you use through the process that makes you come out with a great product.
Well, David, I think you've been very fortunate as far as one of your first major hires, getting a Bourbon Hall of Famer, former Maker's Mark Master Distiller. But one of the questions that a lot of people are going to ask are about jobs out here. You're going to have a lot of great careers out here, not just jobs for people, but they will be careers that people will be able to have. And let's talk briefly about what types of positions you're going to be having out here.
Sure. Well, we're going to be obviously hiring a great team out here, and as you mentioned, Steve is a wonderful, an integral part of the team that we're building. And we're going to have a team that we're going to be, looking for a lot of really good folks from the production side to be working with Steve, to the marketing side, all the way through, to what's happening in the events and tour side. So we're going to assemble some of the best people out here. So if folks locally are looking to come in, they can certainly, it's never too early to send a resume in for us to take a look at, and they can come to the website at bardstownbourbon.com and contact us.
So let's talk time frame right now. Are you all on schedule, and what's your completion date, and then what happens after that?
No, we are on schedule. We're on schedule to open and be in production by late summer next year. So we'll be up and running, and we've got a lot of customers that are coming to meet with us, both on the wholesale side. We're working on brand production ideas with a number of partners, and we're getting things ready, starting to develop our tour experience. So we've got a lot of work to do out here, but we're very excited to be here, and we're really thrilled to be part of this community, and we see a wonderful future for this company and for Bardstown.
Well, we are very glad that you chose us. I know we were in really tough competition with other states and other communities, and I think that Bardstown and the Bardstown Bourbon Company, of course, is going to be a perfect fit. You're going to add to all the wonderful destinations that we have in the bourbon industry, and we're just thankful that you all did choose Bardstown. Anything you wanted to add about your beautiful facility out here?
Yeah, and when you look at the entire project out here, I think it's really important that we recognize that none of this would have happened without the support, Kim, of your team and what you did to bring us here. Judge Watts, the county judge executive, the entire community for supporting us and for helping us make this happen. We are thrilled to be part of Bardstown, and we're going to strive to do everything that we can to support the local community, and whether it's the folks that we are hiring to who is helping provide goods to us, that is always our first choice. That's where we look for, and just want to simply say thank you to Bardstown for welcoming us and having us a part of the community.
Well, we started with you in early 2014. We were with the governor when we announced that you all will be coming here on June 26, I believe, in 2014. And we certainly plan to be here when you cut that ribbon and you open up and you have your first person coming through here. Thank you for allowing us to be part of this. We'll continue to watch this go up and grow as we drive up and down the Bluegrass Parkway. And we can't wait to be here and celebrate when you open up in mid-2016, I guess.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, David. For In Focus, I'm Kim Houston.